Finally, I figured that. I guess one of those days. So I apologize. Couldn't learn without a yarmulke, right?
What most is learning Safria.
I mean, if you turn off the camera, you could do anything.
My grandfather used to put a napkin on his head.
I actually was going to do. I was mamash on my way to do that, and then I said, "Oh, I bet it's in the garbage." Okay, so let's see. So we left off on Lamed Daled Amud Aleph. Again, it's a chaval that Friday and what's a shah. Well, tomorrow we'll spend more time with these sugis, but they're very, very gishmak. Tomorrow more than today. Obviously, we won't finish the whole daf today, but tomorrow's daf is a half Amud, so we'll finish it up tomorrow night as the Shem. Okay, so we left off about 10 lines down from the top, less. Yeah, 10 lines down from the top. So we said we have a hekish, we have a gzeira shava and a hekish. A gzeira shava that we learn out everything from Yom Kippur, Yovel of Yom Kippur to Rosh Hashanah. So whatever the tekiyos are for one, they're going to be for the other. So we learned out that you need a shofar and that you have 3 sets of tekiyos and each truah really, and each truah gets a tekiah before and a tekiah after. That was just like the whole mix of all the halachas that we learn out. So Gemara asks, 10 lines down from the top. Hi Tana, meikara ma'asila be'akesha, v'hashta ma'asila be'gzeira shavas. In the beginning was just a comparison. We were comparing Yovel of Yom Kippur to Rosh Hashanah. Now we're saying it's gzeira shava. So which one is it? So Gemara says, Hachi Kamar, Ilav gzeira shava. If it wouldn't be gzeira shava, how mesina la be'akesha? I would have learned it from a hekesh. So I don't need to do a comparison. Meaning if the Torah is already giving us gzeira shava, which we know you have to have a Messiah for that, right? So, but we have a Messiah. But even if we didn't have a Messiah, we would still learn out the comparison between the two. Meaning if you only had a Messiah and you didn't have the Messiah, right? Meaning gzeira shava could only be learned from Rebbe to Rebbe to Rebbe. If you didn't have that, so you wouldn't be able to learn the gzeira shava. So the Gemara is saying, no, even if you don't have that Messiah, we would learn it out from the comparison. Okay, so then the Gemara says, V'hai Tana. So we're going to learn a different way. We're going to learn out from midbar that the shofar in the midbar, which is really chatzaitzus, also had a tekiah before and a tekiah after. V'hai Tana ma'aseh b'gzeira shava midbar. He learns it out as a gzeira shava from midbar. The Tanya uskatem truah, and you blow a truah. Tekiah b'fnei atzma, truah b'fnei atzma. So you have to blow a tekiah by itself, right? Uskatem, that's a tekiah. And then truah is either 222 or 222, which we'll get to soon. So it's a tekiah b'fnei atzma or truah b'fnei atzma. At time, tekiah b'fnei atzma or truah b'fnei atzma. Does it really mean each one standalone tekiah and standalone truah? Or maybe the tekiah and the truah are just one, meaning just make a sound. Doesn't describe which one it is. So and it says when you gather everybody together to leave, right? Meaning before they left, before they went through the midbar, so they gathered everybody together and they blew a shofar. So when they gather everybody, tisku v'loy sariu, blow the shofar and don't blow, but not a truah. I would have thought that it really sounds like there's such a thing as a tekiah, a long blow, and then there's a truah. And how would you know that you're supposed to do a pshuta before it, meaning a long tekiah before the truah? That you should blow a truah. And how do you know that you should do a pshuta lachareh, meaning a tekiah afterwards? It says a truah you should blow. So since it says a tekiah before and a tekiah after in the midbar, so that's how we know. So this Gemara is not learning it from Yovel, it's learning it from the midbar. No, you don't need it. Right? It says below a second truah. Right? So it doesn't have to say a second, right? So it's a way to learn it out from a pasuk. The Banav is one of the is a limud. Anytime you have a truah, they should have a second tekiyah. Okay, so only in the midbar. So fine, that tells you that in the midbar, when they blew the shofar before they traveled, they needed a tekiah before and after. But for Rosh Hashanah minayin, how do you know they're supposed to do this on Rosh Hashanah? Truah l'gzeira shava. So we have a truah for gzeira shava. All right. Fine. So now, the truah. Now, how do you know about the three? So that's how we know that there's a tekiah before every truah and a tekiah after every truah. How do you know about the shalosh truahs? The shalosh truahs never Rosh Hashanah. It says 3 truahs by Rosh Hashanah. It says Shabbos and Zichron truah. It should be a day that you rest, and there should be a Zichron of a truah. Yom truah. It says, and then another pasuk is a day of blowing. Mavarta shofar truah, and you should sound. You should make the shofar. Make a sound of a shofar. Ushtei tekiyos l'chol achas v'achas, and for each one of these you get 2 tekiyos. Matzina l'meidin. So we learn out from this shalosh truahs v'sheish tekiyos never Rosh Hashanah. So therefore it says 3 truahs, and for each truah you need a tekiyah before and after. So that tells you 3 truahs and sheish tekiyos. That's a total of 9. Shtayim midivrei Torah, 2 midrabanan, v'achas midivrei sefer, and 1 is the rabbanon. What does that mean? Shabbos and Zichron truah, vavarta shofar truah midivrei Torah. Those say right out straight in the Torah that you're supposed to blow the shofar. Yom truah yelachem l'tamudei huba, and the pasuk of Yom truah yelachem, it should be a day of blowing. Just needs, you can't learn it out from there. That's just telling you the Gzeira Shavim, right? So you don't have that available. Reb Shmuel ben Nachmani Amar Reb Yonasan achas midivrei Torah ushtayim midivrei sefer. No, 1 is a deraisa, 2 a derabbanon. Bavarta shofar truah, that you should blow the shofar truah. That's midivrei Torah. Shabbos and Zichron truah, v'yom truah yelachem l'tamudei, that you need to actually learn out the actual blowing. Now, what does it mean? My l'tamudei huba. What does that mean? What is it coming to teach us? Right? Why do you need 2 psukim to teach us that you need to blow the shofar? So we buy because we need it for the yom v'loy b'layla. You need that we blow the shofar during the day and not at night. V'idach, and the other man, the Omer, that says you don't need 2 psukim. The yom v'loy b'layla minolei. How does he know that you're supposed to blow the shofar during the day and not at night? He learns it out from Yom Kippur, where you know that in Yovel they blow the shofar on Yom Kippur of Yovel. They blow the shofar during the day, not at night. So we learn it out to Rosh Hashanah. So if you're learning it out from Yom Kippur of Yovel, so we already know there that you're supposed to blow a tekiah before and a tekiah after. So why not learn that out to Rosh Hashanah too? So he said, the Gemara answers, "Vavarta taviru loy mashmalu." The 2 psukim of Vavarta and taviru it's not mashma that it's not mashma tekiyos. Elamai darshivu. So what do you darshan with these psukim? Vavarta kedrav masna, damar masna, vavarta derech havarasai. You should blow it in the way that it's moved, in the way that it's carried. Taviru dekamar rachmana navre biyad. And Taviru says, how do you do it? You carry the shofar in your hand, right? Remember we said vavarta. So the 2 limudim of vavarta derech havarasai means the way it's supposed to be carried, which we learned is that you're supposed to blow the shofar from the thin part, not from the opposite part, right? From the part that sticks to the animal. And the other pasuk, navre biyad, means that you should be holding it in your hand. Look at that. You see that little taisus? That little taisus to the left. Navre biyad pirush shechazena biyad v'yiska. V'lo yishein echana al gab bishum davar v'yiska. U'pirush hakuntris ikar. Right? Meaning he's saying that the Baal tekiah has to hold the shofar. He can't just lean it on something. Yeah.
Does he have to hold it or anybody has to hold it?
Oh, I mean, could somebody else hold it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Doesn't sound like it. It sounds like as long as somebody's holding it, right? The point is that it shouldn't. What?
Biyado.
It's saying biyad.
Biyado.
Does it say biyad? Oh. Yeah, but the Gemara says biyad. I hear you, Diak. Yeah, the Gemara says biyad, but Taisus says biyadai. That's interesting.
L'chayra, it has to be in his hand. He has to hold it, l'chayra.
Would have. That's what it sounds like. That's what Avi's saying. That it says.
Yeah, has to be.
But I'm saying the Gemara is not mashma.
The Gemara doesn't say yadai.
But Taisus says yadai.
So it means it. Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
So
if I'm not
what
right,
I'm saying,
you're saying it right. You're saying that
I'm
right?
saying it the same way.
You can't lean it.
I'm not saying leaning it. I'm saying the same way at Tzaddik doesn't have to. They had Tzaddikim daven for the Amen because they were too old to stand up, so they daven on a chair. It's the same way that Tzaddik couldn't hold the shofar in his hand, but he could still blow. So somebody would hold the shofar for him, so they could have the Tzaddik blowing the shofar. That's all I'm
Right. Yeah, Taka, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't
That's
know why
really
not.
difficult. For anyone that's ever blown a shofar or any kind of
Yeah.
brass instrument, you gotta
Somebody
hold
else,
it to apply
somebody
pressure.
else holding it.
It's
Yeah, somebody else
impossible.
holding it would really be something. Yeah.
That would make it even more difficult.
Then you have a question on the size of the shofar because whoever's holding it has to be his. It could be bigger or smaller because it has to be the size of his hand.
That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
a I'm sorry. That's not
Yeah,
a
yeah.
question.
Okay, anyways, let's see. Oh, here we go. Parrots,
Okay.
time to start the grill, Parrots.
Alti dog. Alti dog.
Oh, you ready?
I'm early this week. I'm early.
Yeah.
Yaakov, by the reconstructionists that are conservative, they have an electric shofar on a stand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Electric shot, yes.
Electric shofar. Lady asked the Shiloh, the only place they had was a conservative shul. Rosh Hashanah, should she go? And the Rav said, don't go. She went anyway. Sits
And
there,
that's what they had?
and that's what they had. And you see the Baal tekiah lean back, and the shofar's still going. They lean forward.
That's great. That's great. Oh,
The
that's
stomach's michtas ketuse anyway.
That's true. That's true.
That Davening was electric or electrifying.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Weiter. V'idot the Ramasna and the other masna, the shana b'dibure, right? That it changes the word. Taviru b'yad loy matzas amrit. So he holds that you can't say taviru b'yad because the Torah changed for the regular. Instead of saying uskatem, right? It says v'havarta, right? So meaning it's a different terminology, so therefore you can't darshan anything. So taviru biyad le'matzas amrit. You can't learn out taviru biyad. The Gomar Evra. I'm sorry, avara mi Moshe. And why can't you do it? Because we have to learn out avara from Moshe. That it sounds like that avara, meaning by Moshe, would meant to blow the shofar. So too here. So ksiv hacha. It says here v'avarta shofar truah. It says to blow the shofar truah. And Moshe commanded, and they should make a blow a shofar through the machan. And the kol, just like over there, it's with the kol. Afkan b'kol, it means with the kol, right? So that's how we know that it's talking about making a sound from the shofar, and doesn't mean that it's going with the hand. Fine.
How else would I? What else would it mean?
No, I think it just means maybe it just means a tekiah. That's what I understood it, as opposed to maybe a truah.
That's what he doesn't want to learn from it.
No, he doesn't
trying to figure out why we're not learning
hand.
tekiyos.
He doesn't want to learn out that it means carried in the hand.
No, I thought. No, he says that it's stamazai, not mashma, that it's in the hand. So now we have an issue. Why can't we learn tekiyos from it?
Right?
We were going to learn a tekiah deraisa from this.
Right.
And then they said you can't learn that because we use it for something else. What do we use it for? Biyad.
Right.
He says you can't use it biyad. So what's his problem with not using it? He's still
you can't use it biyad because you need it to show that vahavarta means a blowing, not to move. It means to actually blow. That's
so he agrees with the original?
Sounds like, yeah.
We do learn, this is a deraisa now. It's back to deraisa.
I think so. I think. Okay, so Engbar says, "Olai Tana the Maisalami midbar," and the Tana learns out midbar. Imala halan chatzoitza. So the midbar wasn't shofar; it was trumpets. Afkan chatzoitza. So to here it should be chatzoitza. Tamalaymer tiku b'chayde shofar bekesel yom chagenu. Right, that pasuk that we have every few blot. Right, to blow the chayde shofar on the day that's hidden. Ezu chag shachaydish mischasabay, which is the yom tiv that the moon is hidden. Havayomer is a Rosh Hashanah. That's referring to Rosh Hashanah because that's the only Yom Tiv that the moon, right, going back to last parak, it's the only Yom Tiv that you don't see the moon because the moon is hidden. The Kamar Achmana Shofar, and the Torah that says Shofar. What?
That's from Tehillim.
Correct.
How does that become a deraisa now?
I don't think it's meaning that it's deraisa. We're just darshaning that it means that.
Well, this is the whole tekiyos. The whole idea of tekiyos is
no. Now we're just showing that shofar that we know that that anything blown in Tishrei is shofar. That's all we're learning out from Tilla.
So if this is the whole source, we should be blowing chatzaitzrus and shofars.
No, we should just
maybe the Torah taka means chatzaitzrus.
I know it's late, so let's see. Yes, so Iskun Bavo Bekesari. Now here we go. This is the Gemara that Mamish. Anybody that wants to understand what's going on by tekiah shofar, this is the Gemara. Iskan Rabbi Avo b'Kesari. So Rabbi Avo was masakin in Caesarea, tekiyos shloisha shvarim truah tekiah. He was masakin that you blow a tekiah, three shvarim, and then a truah, and then tekiah. Right? Manav. So that again, two. Let's just go with what we know. 2, 2, 2, and then 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Right? That's what he was saying. So then Gemara says manav shaf. Iyalula yalu. If a truah means a truah meaning levet tekiah, truah tekiah, then just do that. And if it means like the more moaning, so that's 2, 2, 2. So then do that. Levet tekiah shloisha shvarim, and then tekiah again. So why are you doing both together? Right? So he says masapkale iganuche ganach iyalula yolo. He doesn't know whether it's 2, 2, 2. Or do. He's just not sure. So therefore he says to do both. 1 second. So that's why he's saying do both. So Maskevla Avira, but Dilma Yelule Hava. But maybe it's a Yelule. The Kamafsik Shloisha Shvarim Bein Truah Tekiah. Then is a Hefsek, meaning let's say Taka, it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, right? So now when you blow 2, 2, 2, that's separating your tekiah from your truah. Right? Meaning every truah has to have a tekiah before and a tekiah after. So we're not sure. So he says, since I'm not sure, I'm telling you to do both. That's very nice. But if it's one or the other, which we know it's only one or the other, that means that the other one is mafsik between the tekiah and what you're supposed to blow. Right? Let's say it's supposed to be tekiah and then and then a tekiah. But what you did is you did a tekiah and then you went 2, 2, 2 and then 2. That's mafsik. So how does that work? You're making a hefsek. So Gemara says, no, the hadar of a tekiah, truah tekiah. No, so to take care of that, then taka, you have a set that you blow 2, and then 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then a tekiah. Okay, so then maskal ravina, v'dilma genuche hava. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's 2, 2, 2, and therefore the 2, 2, 2, 2 is about being mafsik. Or mafsik truah bein shvarim the tekiah, and then it's being mafsik shvarim tekiah. So he answers the hadar of a tashat. No, so what you do is you do a tekiah and a shvarim, and then a tekiah. Yeah. So basically what comes out, this is where you get that we do 3 sets. You have to do tekiah and then 2, 2, 2 tekiah, 3 of those. Right? Then you have to do tekiah and then 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then a tekiah, 3 of those, because we don't know which one it is. And then we're not sure. So then we're going to do, well, that's going to be the next question now. So if that's the case, if you're doing those 2, so then why do you need to go 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2? What do you need that for? Again, we're not sure whether it's what we call a truah or a shvarim or a truah. So we're not sure. Right? So he says, I'm do both together. We ask, how can you do both together? One of them is going to be a hefsek. So he does each one separate. Okay, so if you're doing each one separate, why are you doing them together? That's the next kasha. My iskin, what's his takana? If it's a shvarim, you did it. You did it. So Gemara says, no, no, maybe there's a third option. It could be 2, 2, 2. That could be a truah, or it could be 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, or it could be a combination. So since it could be a combination, he has to do that too. So that's where you get the 3 sets. What's the kasha? Why don't we do tekiah, then 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, right? How come we don't, that option, I don't know. I don't care what from a shul you're in, and they do all sorts of tekiyos. They never did that, as far as I know. Nobody ever did it backwards, right? So if that's one of the options, then why not? Ifcha, tekiah, truah, shloisha shvarim with tekiah. Dilma yol v'naga, v'gonach. So when answer, stama de milsa, ki masra be'inish, milsa.
Why don't they do it? Why don't they do it that way? Like, who made that decision not to do it that way?
No, so that's because it is teretz right here, which is really based. It's an interesting teretz. So he says, stama de milsa, ki misra be'inish, milsa, right? When somebody, stama de milsa, ki isra be'inish milsa, when something bad happens to somebody, Bereisha Gonach, first he goes, oy, 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 and then he goes, oy, 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 right? I guess, I don't know, you guys could decide whether that's what you say. But that's what the Gemara thinks you do. Meaning, the Gemara doesn't think there was ever an option that you go, oy, 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 and then, oy, oy, oy. No, that was never an option. The only shaila was the other way around.
Isn't it a crying? When you cry, you take the big loud ones first, and then you blow. That's how that is. You see a kid cry. It's your first. It comes out, then a deep breath, and then
right, exactly.
All of a sudden he starts falling.
Oh, very good, son of Torah. That's exactly what the Gemara is saying. 100%. That's
the kid doesn't. You see it.
Yes, that's
right,
what it is.
Every time you kid.
Yeah, so that's exactly how it is. That's why. So again, so to just the chaza very quickly, the reason why we have 3 different sets of truahs, it's really there's only one of them is the correct one. We just don't know which one is the correct one. So we got to do 3 sets of truah. We got to what we call truah, which is 2. We got to do 3 sets of shvara, which is 2, because we don't know which one it is. And then we have to do 3 sets of the combination, because maybe it's a combination. So then we have to do 3 sets of 2. That's basically how we paskin, and that's the way everybody in Klal Yisrael does that. So it seems like in the old days, before that, they didn't make you do. Before Rabbi Bo, they didn't make you do. You just blew whichever way you want. Okay, it's a new sugya, so we'll do this tomorrow night, Bez Hashem, and then we'll leave the last few lines for Sunday night, and then that's it. So what are we doing? 7:30. We're ditching Phoenix. Phoenix needs us to do it at 8.
I'm okay with 8.
You're muted, Rabar.
Phoenix has good weather. Phoenix has good weather,
Is
and we
Phoenix
don't, so we
here
ditch him.
now? Phoenix is not here now, is he?
He's not even here now.
So if he didn't show up for today, what do you have to what?
I hear that. That's a good sure? Okay, that's a good class. Okay.
No, the one thing we can take out of this week's parsha
7:30
is
it
the
is.
12 stones became
Good
1.
Shabbos, everybody. Good Shabbos.
Okay, so
Shabbos.
7:30. What? They all came 1, Gershon?
I'm fine with being 1. I'm waiting to 8. I don't mind. I'm fine either way.
I hear you. Okay. I see you're still in a lot of pain. It hasn't gotten better, huh?
No, this was worse.
I hear.
The pills were in my head. I couldn't think straight. It bothers me that I can't learn properly when
I hear.
At least you have an
pain.
At least you have an excuse, Kirsch.
What?
Yeah.
At least you have a reason why you can't learn straight.
No, I'd rather be in pain than the stupid pills.
All
It
right.
drives me insane.
All right. I'm sorry. For Shlema.
Yeah, no, thank you, Doc.
For Shalema.
Amen. Have a wonderful Shabbos, everyone. I really wish I
Good
could be
Shabbos.
there Sunday.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. The Shalom's got
Yay.
Yeah.
Rafael, I hope I get to meet you
I think you just got it
before
5 minutes
Purim.
ago in Costco.
Yeah, Alabai. Mir Hashem.
You got to come in for the big siyum. The big siyum on Mayid. You got to come in.
Okay, fine. So we won't late.
Where you live in Cleveland, right?
Yeah,
You're in
yeah.
Right.
You know the Shabbos is there?
Fine. Okay.
I know
Feel
who's
good.
here.
Good show.
Shabbos family. Mishpacha Shabbos.
Oh, I just thought you were talking about because it's like a half hour till Shabbos. No, I don't. No.
They're a bunch of cousins of ours, of my wife.
Ah, very nice.
Shabbos.
I'm gonna have to get to meet them. Where do they live? In Cleveland Heights?
I don't know.
Shabbos, everybody. Good Shabbos.
Hey, Mir Hashem, we'll get together. All right.
Ritz Hashem will make us see him in Yerushalayim next time.
Alabai.
Yeah.
Very good.
Have a great Shabbos.
Have a great Shabbos and feel better.
Amen.